What's going on, guys? So today I'm planning on working on some Space Station 13 code. I have a number of pull requests that I need to work on. Mostly it's debugging stuff. Towards the end, I'm probably going to do some unit tests as well. But yeah, I've got a couple of pull requests open that need to get some stuff fixed before they're ready. So without further ado, first thing is that I've been nitpicking is this one thing. It's actually quite a decent sized refactor where they had two objects. One which is a mop bucket, and then they had another object called the janitor cart. And the both objects were very similar, but they were split. They were not in the same class. And I believe the person who made the janitor cart was using a mop bucket as his reference, but he never actually went and used object-oriented programming to make it a subtype. So that's kind of what I've tried to address in this pull request. Initially, I wasn't trying to refactor it. I was just trying to fix this tiny little bug, and it ended up being more of a spring cleaning type of thing, because as I fixed that tiny bug, I looked at the code and I was like, this is really strange. Why didn't he just, use the class system? And so that's kind of what I'm attempting here. There's still a couple of little tiny things for me to iron out, which I am trying to do right now. Let me just go ahead and exit out of that. So I've got most of the kinks out. There is one little thing which it involves reagent containers. So stuff like a beaker, a bucket, a syringe, a bottle, or something like that. Whenever you attack the mop bucket, it would actually show the attack animation. We don't want to do that because it's not really consistent. It should skip an attack animation because it's not being attacked, it's being used. So and the bug I'm experiencing right now is, you might end up seeing it or not, but we'll find out. But it's if you use a syringe, because a syringe is not refillable. It's not let me see if I can find this example. Okay, so a syringe is not refillable and it's not drainable. It had a different behavior than the beakers, so beaker or bucket. So I had to kind of change this code here so that it just checks for the reagent container instead of using these other procs here, because before it was using is the object refillable, is it drainable, to check and see if you could do this, skip the attack animation. And for some reason the syringe just did not have that code logic. I would actually argue that there might be some kind of huge inconsistencies with that, because a lot of other attack animations for, we're just going to ignore this. This is just this is not a syntax error. That's just basically saying the TG process skipped its build bat. We can safely ignore that with no problems. That's actually been popping up because I have been using the Visual Code Studio. Let me see if I could show you real quick. So I was using the GitHub tab in Visual Code Studio to check out my branches. Now, normally I use the GitHub desktop to check out my branches, and then because I guess I used Visual Code Studio, that thing has been popping up saying that it's not going to compile properly the tools. So it's kind of annoying. At some point, I need to either look for a loophole or some way to get around that. But yeah, the, we're right now we're just loading up the server, the test server, and hopefully this little change I made will fix the syringe issue that I'm having. So I also am guessing that that is applying to a lot of other objects because syringes are almost like in a different category than the beakers and stuff. So there are other places in the code where they're using these procs, these functions, is refillable, is drainable, to check if an object is a reagent container. And if you use a syringe there, and you're using these procs to skip the attack animation, it won't apply to the syringe, even though you can use the syringe to transfer reagents back and forth. You can inject or drain things using the syringe. So I think that's some buggy code with the reagent containers and not necessarily the janitor stuff that I'm using. Okay, so our test server has loaded up. We are going to go ahead and just jump in, and some people when they're debugging their stuff, they like to just spawn the objects and not have to move around. I usually don't mind. It's not too far away from where we're at, and I do think it does take a little bit of time to actually type in the paths for the different objects. So, like, the mop bucket is one thing. We actually need to test the original mop bucket and then the janitor cart, which also has the mop bucket on it. So right now, let's just go ahead and get the syringe out of this. Let's get a watering can, fill it, stick a little water in there. I'm gonna right click. Oh, it worked. Okay, let's fill the syringe, and then let's try injecting it. Okay, good. There's no attack animation. Now, if we did have an attack animation, it would look something like you would see that. You'd see the transparent icon being smashed against the object. So okay, that is actually so far it looks like the bug is no. Okay, so there is another bug right there. So there's two bugs. One that appears that got fixed, which was the syringe was showing an attack animation. I actually think I know what might be causing this second one. So the second one is, let's see if you can identify it here real quick. So the mop bucket is empty, right? There's no water. There's I think 5 units. Yeah, 5 units of water in the syringe. I'm going to transfer the syringe water into the mop bucket. And from the icon, if you look at the icon, there is still no water there. And even though that it's transferred, it says the mop bucket here, 5 units. There's 5 units of water in there. There's nothing in the syringe. But the icon didn't update, and I'm pretty sure I know what just happened there. So if I look at the mop bucket code, and I go to the attack by, so what ended up happening is kind of interesting. So the attack by code has an order. And let's see if we can find the order real quick to show you guys. The attack by is like also a very super kind of complex code. There's a lot of let's I'm looking for it here. I think it's under the signal. Yeah. Let's try this. Send signal. Register signal. No. Yeah, there's a certain chain where there's like a pre-attack proc that gets used, and then there's an attack proc, and then there's a there's an after attack proc, and there's a list. It's in one of the code comments. I haven't seen it in probably a couple weeks, but I'm trying to figure out where it's at. Okay, maybe it's attack chain. So you kind of see it a little bit here, but this isn't the one I was looking for. This is for tools. And this one is, it says standardize attack chain, where it's your tool action, your pre-attack, attack by, and then after attack. It goes in that order. So how does this apply to the bug? You're probably confused, but it's actually quite simple. So our attack by, that's where we're canceling the attack animation, and because it gets canceled, the code that updates, let's see if I can show you. The code that updates our icon for the water is, no, I don't want syringes. Let's go over here. Okay, the code that updates the water contents for the bucket is in the attack by code. So basically what's happened is, you strike the bucket with the syringe. It updates the appearance, but the syringe hasn't ejected the water yet. And that will be something that's supposed to happen on the after attack. So to fix this, we actually need to add a after attack proc. So something like this. We need to do something like this. This will probably more than likely fix it. And then, the rest of our variables. And then we basically need to do kind of copy and paste this a little bit, but now I haven't done too many after attack. I haven't done pull requests involving after attack very much, so I will have to just take a little peek and see what some of the other objects, how they use them, and see if I can get it to work properly. So let's see here. Nope. Sky. Okay, so I got some balloon alerts. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy and paste this so I can use this as reference while I'm remaking this. So we will go ahead and use these for our variables. Although this last variable seems like it's particular. It seems like it's only used for the airlock painter. So I'm gonna just go ahead and remove that. I'm also going to, no, maybe not. Interesting. So proximity seems to be in a lot of these, which is very strange. After attack. User flag. Params adjacent. So what's strange to me is the after attack should almost trigger immediately after the attack. The fact that they're doing proximity checks is bizarre because your character really shouldn't have moved yet. Okay, so I guess it's not only some of these objects have them, just like this one only has these two. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I can go ahead and safely get rid of this, I think. Yeah, we just want to update our icon after the attack is done. So I think I can just go ahead and get rid of this as well. There. Like that. It's looking good. This, I'll just go ahead and delete. I'll just take a quick peek here. Okay. I don't think I need to return anything. Yeah, so that should work. We're going to find out. Before I do that, though, before I test that, I do need to go grab the other janitor cart, and that is in a dreary part of the maintenance tunnel. Let's see here, I think it's over. Yeah, so this is the other janitor cart. This is the, I said these two here were, the way it was coded before, they were separate objects. All right, and I refactored these both to be the same class of objects for consistency, and they have a lot of, they copied and pasted a lot of the same code. So I have tested for that one with the syringe, and now I'm going to check the syringe on this one here and make sure I'm getting the same behavior. So, and we're gonna go look, we're gonna use left click and right click, and hopefully we're not gonna get any weird attack animations. Okay. One, two, we injected it twice, and then we sucked it out twice. Okay, so that worked actually good. That's kind of what I wanted. We're not getting the attack animations with the syringe, and it really shouldn't be with the other containers, like this beaker here. If I left click or right click, it's not going to do anything. So we're not getting the attack animations like this. Like if you had this thing right here, it's showing that it's smacking into it. So, okay, so that part is fixed, which is great. However, I need to get that icon to update properly, and I'm hoping the after attack is going to fix it. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to restart the server. We're going to hope that fixes our problem. And yeah, we'll know pretty soon. Okay, so we got some bugs that have popped up here, and I already know immediately what just happened. the after attack. Let's see here. Target user. Very interesting. So there is a little bit of a problem here, and that is that the weapon is not being passed to... Let me get out of here. The weapon is not being... So like here in this proc, the weapon is being used. It's not for here. It's not... There's not a option to use that as an argument. So what this means is I can't check to see if there's a weapon after you attack something. So we're going to have to just skip that check and then just update the appearance just like that. So kind of annoying, probably not optimal since we're updating the appearance after every attack, but it's not really that much of a performance bottleneck or anything like that. So now we're reloading it. It's gonna take another minute, guys. So but yeah, after this is done, and if it works, then we should pretty much be done with that pull request. So I will just tidy up the typing with the pull request with a few more details of the stuff I changed, and yeah, just trying to make sure it's all organized so that the reviewers that come on there can see that there was no malicious changes or anything like that. So we're gonna ignore that for now. There is one error, and it is, let's see here, after attack undefined proc. Interesting. So that is interesting. $39. Is it because it's a structure? Wow, that's actually really, really bad. If oh my god, I think that might actually be the case. So that might be... I'm gonna be really annoyed if that's the case. So okay, for those of you that don't know, in Space Station 13 there are several different classes of things in the game. So there's objects, there is something called structures, and there's going to be a very big difference between the two, and as far as which procs they have access to and inherit and stuff. And I just assume that after attack could be used for objects or structures, because you can have attack by, a lot of the attack code is used for both objects and structures. So if I find out that the after attack proc code is not actually, you can't use it for structures because it doesn't exist, I will be really pissed, be very frustrated, because and I think that is exactly what... Yep. So this is the attack chain I was trying to talk about earlier, where it's like pre-attack, attack by, after attack. Let's see here. Click on object item. after attack. Oh, that is not good. That is not good at all, guys. Because this would have been a very... Yeah, so I was saying earlier that the structures need to have the after attack. It does not appear that the structures have the after attack for whatever reason. So I wonder if I could... Let's see here. Nope. Object attack by. Attack by secondary. Object item pre-attack secondary. So that's unfortunately that looks like it's exactly the problem, is that the after attack proc it's not a part of structures. It's only for objects. That is honestly just some oversight with the code. Whoever was writing the attack chains probably forgot to include that as an option. However, that's not something I'm going to be able to fix very easily. It's kind of like, I think I was trying to show you earlier with the syringe stuff, is that the bug I was having with syringes and mop buckets applies to so many other things, not just the mop buckets. It applies to anything that's trying to use a syringe, and it'll play the attack animation because syringes are not in the same code group as buckets and bottles and stuff like that. So it's kind of annoying. I really don't think I'm gonna be able to fix that today. I think that's gonna take a lot of serious debugging and time to get that to work properly. And yeah, it's just not something. It's really not something I can do right now. All right, I guess I should say that it's not worth the hassle, because I'm really just trying to focus on getting mop buckets refactored and not rewriting the entire attack chain, which encompasses like 10,000 objects. So, I'm trying to make this tiny little change here, not this humongo glob change, which is what that's going to require is, yeah. So it's a little frustrating, but it's not something I'm going to try to tackle right now. And that's somebody else, when they wrote the attack code, they forgot to apply that after attack proc to a lot of other stuff. So anyway, let's just grab this. I'm just gonna double check it one more time. Pour the water in here. We got 40, of course we have 40. There's 10 left. And now there's none. Okay, so Okay, before we move on with this, so right now, I'm pretty satisfied with it. Let's before I give up, let me just. We have the breakpoints on for our code. Let's see if we can get it to. Maybe it'll pop up. It shouldn't, but. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to cut this out. Let me think if there's anything else I can do to maybe fix this. I really don't think there is. I mean, I could maybe go to syringe code and then after attack have it update the targets, right? We could have it update the targets icon. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I might fix some of it. Okay, let's try that. Update appearance, and we'll do that. We'll go to syringe stuff. Now I'm kind of cute. My problem with that is, I'm thinking. Oh, I see something. So, okay. I see something. Okay, so I take it back. Structures are not supposed to have an after attack proc. This is because the after attack proc is only supposed to be used by the object itself. And that also explains why we don't have a weapon here. So to explain this, so you have a syringe and you inject something. Your syringe is the weapon. Your syringe will be getting the after attack proc called on it. So the mop bucket will not. The mop bucket will be getting the attack by proc called on it because it's getting attacked. So there's different attack chains that are happening here. There's some for the weapon itself and there's some for the target. So the structure is the target and it does not have an after attack proc in it. The after attack actually goes to the object itself. So to fix this, we need to go to the syringes and then we need to do the update appearance in the syringes. So that's what is going to fix us. And which is, again, attack code is very, very long. It's very confusing. There is programmers posted a meme on the attack chain because there's like 20 different procs and there's all these little niche chains that are very, very rarely used. So like you have things like attack. Look, we could look in this janicart file here. So they have attack hand. So if you attack something with just no objects, you're just using your hand. You have attack hand secondary, attack by secondary. So this is like you have something in your hand, and then you have like crowbar attack, and then just your regular attack by. So there's a lot of. It can get very deep. So and confusing to someone who's not familiar with it. So anyway, so we're going to our after attack and we want to update the icon of the target. Okay, and I'm trying to think how to do this here. Let's do it like this. Let's do... So we want target. I think it's... We're going to do target, update appearance, and then we're just going to do... do we want to do icon? We'll just do the full appearance. All right. So they have what this is, they have special flags that you can do when you're updating an icon, so that it speeds it up a little bit. So you could do like only update the name or only update the description. In this case, we're just going to update everything, which shouldn't be that big of a performance hit. But yeah, so that should work here, and it should fix the problem we're having. Now what is this? Update appearance, update overlays. Oh, it's just showing me that I deleted let's get out of here. It's just showing me that I deleted this code. So okay, what I am a little worried about is that this is going to be annoying. What I am worried is that the syringe stuff is a band-aid, kind of, because if we use, I'm curious, if I do this with a beaker, so if I fill it with 10, right, there's nothing, there should be, well, okay, there is something in there. Let's just go ahead and get that removed. No, let's turn off our debugging for a second here. Okay, so now there should be nothing. There's nothing in there. It contains nothing. I have a little bit of water in my beaker. So what I'm gonna do now is also, before I do that, I'm gonna spill it. I'm gonna throw it on the floor. That might be another bug there, because this icon is, it's, nothing has changed really. I mean, if you're putting a liquid in there, it should be showing blue. But anyway, so what I'm curious about is if I try to put water into the mop bucket using other containers, like a beaker, watering can, will I still have that icon problem? Because we just put in a fix for syringes. So I'm thinking I might have to actually go to the base class for syringes and for all of these objects, which is the reagent container, and put that little update icon thing, which is right here. So I basically have to go to the base class for all of this, which is reagent containers, and then add that as an after attack. So, but before I do that, before I assume the worst case scenario, let's just see if it will actually update. So transfer 10. Okay, we took out 10. Okay, so interesting. Oh, it works for beakers, strangely. What about this watering can? Yeah, it works for that too. Very interesting. Another thing I wanted to test was if I take an injector. Nope, injector won't work. Okay. No problem. Let's see, what other things? Let's try a rag. Well, let's see here. My guess, as well as that those other items already have that update icon applying towards it. but for some reason the syringe is not, strangely. And I'm assuming that's probably maybe because it returns. Is that what's happening? Injects. That's for living target. Transfer. So I'd actually have to apply it in 2 different spots. I have to go here, and I'd also have to go here too. That is some very strange behavior, and that might just be, again, because syringes are in a very different category. Oh, droppers, that's what I wanted to test. So after attack, is mob, is alien. Let's just close this here. And then this is, if it's reagents, is total. I'm just kind of skimming the code in my mind right now. So I'm looking at where these if loops are leading and where. Okay, so this one, surprisingly, yeah, it already has update appearance. But I think that's only for the dropper itself, not the actual target, which is kind of bad. So let's do that. Target dot update appearance. That shouldn't cause too many problems, honestly. So, but let me look. This is the reagent container. This is the base class, and this is what I'm guessing that they're updating the icon of. They're updating the icon of the objects that's getting attacked. So in our case, the mop bucket is getting attacked. So somewhere in here, they are, I presume, they're updating. So let's do on reagent change. Okay, so it's not there. However, let's try cups. Attack, we want after attack, and yeah, so this is where, okay, I don't know if you're catching what's happening here. So I'm just do a quick recap. So the reason that using this object, the beakers and the cups, it would actually work correctly when you're transferring water. Let's see here. There's nothing in there. So if I fill it with 10, which is what I just did, I add water to the mop bucket. Watch right now. I'm doing it right now. See the icon updated, and now I'm going to take it back out using the beaker. And it updated properly because in this actual code for the reagent containers, the cup, it automatically updates the appearance. So so the syringe and the other objects don't have this update appearance thing. So that's what I'm kind of adding. I would like to do it to the base class because that would be more consistent instead of having to do it for each object individually. However, I'm seeing right here, this is where they call the object-oriented programming. This is where you call your child class, your parent class. So I'm a little worried that if I do it in the base class, it might actually get skipped. So let's look over here. I don't even know if they have an after attack. They might. They might. Let's see here. Nope, wrong spot. Let's go over here. After attack, right? It's with, does it have the underscore in it? No, it does not. Silly me. Okay, so the base reagent class does not actually have an after attack proc. Well, it does, but it's basically blank. So, oh, that's annoying. That is very annoying, guys. So now I have to consider whether I want to be updating these objects individually or stick that to the base class. And I guess what I really need to do is I need to kind of, before I make that decision, I need to look and see how these other objects are using their parent classes and stuff. So, and then the cups. Where's the cup one? Reagent containers. We're looking for cups. Where's my cups? Oh, here's my cup. And there's actually water in it too, which is kind of, I guess, irony since the stuff we're testing is a mop bucket with water. But no, I was actually looking for this cup right here. And I'm wondering why. So I don't think I'm going to be able to... I don't think I'm going to be able to put the update appearance code into the base class because of the way this is the code for the object-oriented programming. Inheritance is right there. It's at the very top. So if I were to put it, hypothetically, I stick our update appearance code into the base class, it would basically get skipped. It would get skipped because it would update the appearance, because the actual code that that transfers the chemicals, like in this case water, it would happen after the appearance if I put the update appearance code into the base class. So I could stick the inheritance at the bottom, but that's probably going to break a lot of other things, unfortunately. So I think doing it individually right now is probably the most ideal thing, because I don't want to spawn a 7-headed code hydra, which is basically what's going to happen if I try to put it in the base class. And this is supposed to be a minor pull request. This is not supposed to be a refactor all of the chemical objects in the game. Like, this is supposed to be that big of a refactor, not a ginormous thing. No. So let's just go ahead and this is a little bit of a band-aid basically, but we'll go ahead and just stick these to the one in the dropper, the one in the syringe, right? Yeah. So, and then now, do I need it for anything else? Hypo spray? I don't think you can use a hypo spray on the mop bucket. I could be totally wrong though. We will go and steal the hypo spray from the place it spawns, which is in here. I really don't think you can, but I could be wrong. I think it might be hypospray can only be used on living mobs, living characters. So but we're gonna find out and test. So nope, it has to be a living thing. So that's what I thought. So I just tried clicking it and it was not going through. And the other stuff is fine. I mean, we don't need to put it in a blood pack or chem pack or anything like that. So yeah, so that should fix it. So now when I test using a syringe or the dropper, it should actually update the water icon for the mop bucket. It should do that properly. So if it works, I'm pretty sure it's going to. I'm about 90% chance sure it's going to work properly, but I could be wrong. So yeah. Now we're just gotta let it boot up, and you know, that will be one more quick test, and then we'll start working on the other our other pull requests and hopefully get those kosher. And those are nothing important. It's just a saying that it didn't build. It's not a compile error. And that's because I'm using Visual Code Studio to check out the pull requests. So that's kind of fucking up the build process. All right, so probably about another minute. It's looking good so far. Yeah, I really would have liked to have moved that update appearance code to the base reagent class, but there's just too many things that could break if I do that. That's a really big code change, and I'm pretty sure the reviewers, when they look at that, they would probably think the same thing, which is, oh, this applies to excuse me, applies to like 1,000 other objects that could have some very wonky behavior. So we're just gonna play it safe, and we're gonna do our probably less optimal method of fixing that, and just by adding the update appearance code to the syringe and to the other object, which was a dropper. So and that should fix a lot of stuff. So okay, so he started. Here we go. We're gonna spawn in our office. Yeah, I'm actually kind of pretty, I don't say burned out, but I am a little tired of this pull request now, just because it had started off as a very small one-line fix, and it snowballed into this much larger thing, and the end result is like, it's pretty positive. Like, the code is a lot cleaner now. It's more consistent, but at the same time, I just spent I just spent a lot more time. Okay, moment of truth. We're gonna inject water using the syringe. Yay, it worked. It immediately came to life for the icon. Now we're gonna remove the water. We're going to suck it out using the syringe, and it worked as well. Awesome. So let's go, let's get the, let me try the other object too. I will actually spawn it in. So create object, it is the dropper. Reagents dropper. Okay. Let's pull this up. Let's grab it from this. Click it. Okay, it updated its icon. We're gonna remove it now. Yep. Okay, good. It should also apply to other objects. So let's try this. Click it. Nope. That might just be because of water, I guess, is transparent for some reason, which doesn't make any sense, but sure. Let's see here. Let's try it with this different chemical. So I remove 5. There we go. So I guess it is working. And water for some reason is just, you know, I mean, you can't see water. It's blue. So I don't know why they've made water transparent. I don't know if something else is broken there. Something probably is broken, but that has nothing to do with our pull request. So, so yes, everything is working how we want it to. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go to our Git, and we're going to just write some commit messages here. Let's do this. Let's get all of these off real quick. Let's do this one first. This one is fix attack animation appearing for this one was syringes and droppers, but we'll just say syringes for now. So that's what that change did. It fixed that. We fixed the attack animation. We didn't want an attack animation because it's not getting attacked. It's getting used. And then these two are to fix syringe and dropper not updating target appearance. There we go. We're gonna push both of those out the door, and it's done. It's ready. It's good to go. So now we're gonna go to our actual pull request on the website. Make sure that stuff is there. Looks good. Okay. I'm a little annoyed. The TG server removed my refactor label, so I think I might have typed this wrong. So I'm just gonna look at some other my pull requests that have the refactor label and make sure that is the correct tag. So yeah, it is. So it's very strange. Refactor, huh? Okay, because sometimes if you don't have the proper tag, like if I put let's say I put fix in my label, if I added a label here for fix, but there was in the changelog, there was not a fix, it would remove the fix label. But for this, I actually have the refactor in the changelog, so I guess I'll make another attempt to add the refactor. Hopefully it doesn't, re-remove it. I'll be very annoyed if it does. And actually, if it does, then I will have to talk to the other maintainers about what is causing that. That might be something in the CI. So continuous integration. So that's a part of the GitHub Actions that's might be causing that. So anyway, this is this is ready for review. We're going to click that. And then I'm thinking if there's anything I want to add to this as far as descriptions. Yeah, let's add another fix. Let's say we'll do fix syringes and droppers not updating the when used. So we fix that. Let's see here. Is there anything else I could think of? I did change the hotkeys for a regular mop bucket. I keep misspelling mop bucket. I instead of putting mop M-O-P, I keep doing M-O-B with like the upside down P, which is really annoying. I've done that several times in this pull request. So I don't know. Is it possible to have vertical dyslexia? Because if that's a thing, I probably have it. So very silly. Okay, so regular mop bucket has the same right mouse button hotkey as janicart for wetting mop. Okay, and I think that's pretty much other niche changes. I'm gonna just take these and I'm gonna stick them as a bullet list for the top part of the pull request, and then we're just gonna so let's see here. That looks good. Update it. Let's before I move on to the next pull request, we're just gonna browse through this. This is all the map code right here. We can just ignore because it's just mapping stuff. Since we changed the path of the object, we had to update the maps. So okay, and I'm just looking. That's fine. Mop. I think I deleted this. Where are we at? We are at, yeah, we moved this to janitor. We added the mop bucket. So right now I'm just doing some, I'm just double checking. I'm reviewing my own code to make sure everything is correct. I didn't like, a lot of times I put like code comments, or I'll comment out code that I copied and pasted, or that I was using for debugging, and I'm just trying to review it, make sure none of that stuff is there. A lot of times I'll put like a little code comment to myself, which will be like, "Hey Tim, remove this before the PR gets merged," or something, just to make sure none of that stuff exists. So, and that has happened where a reviewer will point out, be like, did you mean to include this? I was like, oh, that's embarrassing, because that code comment was only supposed to be on my local repository. So, okay, so looks good here. Looks pretty consistent. We did a lot of testing too. Reviewing my own code. Balloon alerts. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. I'm not seeing any problems so far. And sometimes you gotta be very meticulous kind of tester when you're doing it. Either that or you have to write a bunch of unit tests, which can be pretty tedious too. So, but it's probably a safer thing to do is do a bunch of unit tests. But I generally try to reserve the unit tests for the more critical things that I'm programming, and not do it, not always do unit tests for everything, because something minor like mop buckets, do mop buckets really need unit tests? Are they that critical to this code project? No, mop buckets are pretty niche thing. So I think it's overkill is essentially the proper term to use here. Is if you're writing a unit test for something very niche like that, that's you're kind of wasting time. So let's see here. Okay, so that file looks good. We deleted the original mop bucket. Yep, because we moved it into a janitor file. Here we added that. That looks good as well. It's not too big of a change. We just updated the paths. Here we go to the dropper and the syringe. Oh, this one is actually okay, this one is actually interesting. I may have to double check this real quick. I may have to double check this one. The spray. Syringe looks like it's fine. Okay, so there's a couple of things I just want to... A couple of things that are pointing out to me that looks a little strange. So it is the syringe and dropper is one. Okay, so why is there two? There's after attack secondary. Oh, that's why. Okay, so makes sense. Makes sense. Because I was wondering why we had put two, and this doesn't have an after attack secondary. What? That's weird. Okay. Well. So, okay, so to explain, this syringe has two different procs where it's updating the icon. One is in the regular attack, and the other is the after attack secondary. And the after attack secondaries are when you hit the right mouse button, and just regular after attack is for the left mouse button. The dropper does not have a right mouse button when you're using that, so nobody has gotten around to adding that as a feature yet to the dropper. That should be added someday, but It's not. So, that's kind of all right. Well, it's fine. That's not something we need to do in this pull request. So let's go to the other anomaly that I was looking at. So this is fine. The dropper's fine. Syringe is fine. Now we go to our spray. And I just want to double check and make sure when I added this that I did it properly, and you know, it wasn't the screen is gross. We got too many tabs up here. Now, you know, people who are super familiar with Visual Studio Code probably know the hotkeys to change the tabs, move them around. I think it's like Central Shift 1, Central Shift 2. You'll go from like 1 tab to 2 and stuff. So we're doing the spray. It's right here. After attack. Okay, I think this is fine because what's happening is the reason we have this check here for the janitor cart is because if you attack a janitor cart with a spray, it will actually insert the spray instead of spraying. Like normal behavior will be if you attack something with a spray, it'll spray the liquids on something. We don't want that to happen with a janitor cart because you can actually load the spray into the janitor cart, like put it in storage. So that's what that check is for. So I was a little confused by it, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's why. That makes sense. Okay, so going back to our view, I am gonna say it's all good. It looks pretty solid. We can move on to our next thing in my to-do list here. So next thing is actually not a pull request. It is I'm going to be fixing my master branch because I broke my master branch. I was dumb. Am I not on the right fork? Come on. Let's see here. Oh no. This is not good. Okay, here we go. Now we can get out of there. Let's go to our... Yeah, I was looking at the pull request. Okay, let's go to the master branch. And I corrupted the master branch history, essentially. I had made a commit that I shouldn't have made in there. And it was this one. I need to actually reset it. So... discard all changes. Nope, I need to actually pull up the git command line. So let's do... Okay, let's do git status. This is our... And I think it's we want to do git reset hard. It's git reset hard, and then it's like force push. I had it written down somewhere, and it is. Oh man, you're gonna see a lot of weird. Here we go. This is our little hack guide. Aha. Git reset hard upstream master. That is the command we want. This will reset our master branch so that it removes all the commits. Come on. Let's try this again. What it's doing is discard all changes. Freaking Rust is causing us problems. Rust and sometimes Lua will pop its head into the your commit files, and that is really gross sometimes because it's kind of hard to get rid of. Come on. It also might be because I have the actual server running in the background that it's not letting us do that. Rust DLL. Pain in the ass. Discard all changes, guys. Okay, now let's try this again. Whoops. This should work this time. Head is now there. Good, good, good. So we're going to force push it. The F is for force, meaning we're forcing it to update. We're resetting the history. And then let's see here. Yeah, I think it's done. And then I think it's just git merge master, right? Yeah. Let's see here. November 9th. It is, yeah, I guess this is pretty recent. Awesome. Okay. Good, good, good. All right, so our master is now uncorrupted, unpolluted, and I'm gonna double check the history here. Yep, okay, 2 hours ago, so awesome. What that means is I can now branch off from the master in the future without there being problems, because if I had branched off from the master in the future, it would have taken the change I had accidentally made, and would have corrupted every branch. So I had to clean the master branch real quick, and yeah, it should not affect the other branches I was working on. So this is my to-do list here. So debug janitor pull request, that's done. Fix master branch, revert commit, well, that's done as well. We're gonna do the bedsheet improvements pull request, and we're gonna do a quick test. So that one is over here. The checkout is bedsheet screen tips. I misspelled bedsheet. So let's go. Let me fetch it real quick. That way it updates not just the master branch, but all the other branches, hopefully. Okay. Bed sheet screen tips. Come on. Okay. Now, one of the maintainers had asked me to change this little tiny bit of code. That's literally the only thing left to change for that. I'm also going to clean up these files real fast. Don't need any of this anymore, so we're just going to kind of move this. Don't need mop. Structures. Do I need the uplink key? I may need that for something. Nope, I'm pretty much done with, I think, all the stuff to the right. Yeah. Yeah, I think I close everything else but this one. Okay, so, and then I know I just did turn. The thing he asked me to do, the maintainer asked me to do, I did in another spot right here for alt click. So I will try to do the same thing here. Dir equals turn 90. Cover up. Dir. So there's a little bit of geometry math here. We're rotating something to a direction depending on an angle. It'll be left or right, west or east, and I'm just trying to remember. It's been a while since I've looked at this code. Args returns the rotated direction, so 45 or left or angle. But the annoying thing is this is getting rotated. This is not getting rotated. Maybe, okay, hang on. Maybe I can do it like this. I don't like this actually, because for this code, there is actually for this bedsheet thing that's being done here, there's not a rotation going. I'm when I wrote this code, it's to put the bedsheet in the same direction as where the sleeper is, so it shouldn't be rotating. It shouldn't be rotating at all. So I'm wondering if I could do it like, maybe, oh, we're looking at the, let's look at the reference code here. Turn 90 degrees. No, I need to, so basically I need to use a proc that if you put in the degrees, the angle, it should spit out the direction. It shouldn't turn anything. That's what I need. And with the DreamMaker API, I don't know which proc does that. My solution was a little bit of a hack. I will be honest, but it worked. So I don't know. Maybe matrix math? Turn. I don't need a turn though, guys. Let's see here. Interpolate? I don't know what that is. That sounds fancy. Okay, I need like degree to direction or something like that. I think there's a helper. There might be a helper proc that does that. Let's see here. Atmospherics, atoms, bit flags. Degree to, I should probably remove these. Degree to dir to degree. Okay, let's see here. So like this one is AC to text. So we're looking for something like degree or angle to direction. Except I don't know if that proc exists or if my guess is right for the way it's named. So we're just looking at the API, trying to figure out length, list to params, locate matrix. None to text. Not what I'm looking for. Params to list. Okay, maybe I look at the dir stuff. Move icon turn. Yeah, I'm really not having any luck finding a proc that uses that. So there's so many helper procs. There's like, I want to exaggerate and say there's like 1,000, but there's probably at least 100, if not a few hundred. So you have to sort through all of these different APIs for these helper procs that would do something like, it would take your degrees and convert it to direction. And I don't know what name it would be under. So we're just kind of guessing here. We're looking for it. Filters, forensics, game. Check hypotenuse. No, we don't want that one. No, I don't think any of this stuff is good. Okay, let's keep going down. Globalists, guild, hallucinations, heap hearted, hunker blast. It might be in some icon stuff. I see something. Angle to hue. That was almost what we wanted. Almost. Maybe instead of dir, angle to dir could be what we're looking for. Oh man, this is pretty rough, guys. Matrices. Decompose. Turn to. Okay. That almost looks like what we need. Almost. Oh, it's just turning the angle. So shear 2 less 2 degrees. Get Y shift. I think I have seen this proc, the proc we're looking for. I think I've seen it somewhere when I've been code diving, and I think it was a long time ago. So radiation, radio, reagents. String list, text, time, traits, terms, type to type lists, verbs. I don't. Alright, I'm gonna just take some guesses here. Angle to hue, to angle, hue to angle. Why don't we do angle underscore 2? Okay, so that's interesting. We got some interesting stuff here. Aha! I think we found it. I think we did find it. Aha! Yes, finally. I told you it was some autistic naming like this. Look at this. Dir to angle. Angle to dir, and you don't know if they're actually using underscores or not. Sometimes they do, but it's not consistent. Some people use underscores, some don't. So we want one of these. Text to directions. We want, it's probably going to be one of these others. Angle to dir. So X. I think it's just this, right? I think, guys. All right, well, there's one way to find out. So we will do this. We're gonna stick this in here like that. We're gonna say angle, and then we are going to comment out this like that. And then I'm also gonna say, let's see, these are the little comment messages I usually leave for myself so that I don't forget. And if by the chance I do forget, another maintainer could be like, hey, that doesn't look right. Okay, so that I'm almost positive this is the well, this is technically not a proc, it's a define, but it's still pretty much a proc. But yeah, this is what we wanted, this is what we needed, so that the thing is not getting rotated. We don't need it to be rotated, we just need to convert an angle to a direction. So, but of course this is buried, this is buried in freaking hundreds of other helper procs, and I bet this is in the helpers. Yeah, it's in the helpers. No errors, it's fine. Debug anyway. So type to text. Again, I need to fix the build thing that's happening here, but it's not that important right now. It's not because of compile errors or syntax errors. It's just the build bat is going batshit crazy. So, but yeah, that's type to type. Terrible spot to put this. To put these in type to type. That's the name of the file. Oh, that's bad. Let's see what other procs they got in this file. Writes to text. Odd. Body zone to cover flags. Very odd. Yeah, so this is like such a niche. This is like a miscellaneous file that has heat to color. Like people are just cramming random procs. Strings to list of variables. Type to parent. Yeah, and the only reason that I believe this to the one we used right here, angle to dir, the only reason that I suspected it existed is because I think I saw it like a year ago when I was looking through code. I saw it used somewhere else, and I was like, And in my memory, I vaguely remember it being used somewhere. I don't know where. Well, actually, we can find out real quick. That's probably only in a few spots. Let's see here. I'm thinking it was in the emitter stuff. Let's see here. Self knockback, confusion, bedsheet, void, machine progression, navigation, beam rifle, shuttle rotate. Interesting. So in a couple different spots, but yeah, one of these files I was looking at, and I happened to come across this proc. So good to know. We are now going to start. I need to check and make sure that code is working properly. So we're going to add some debug statements here. So we got to use it. We have to use it on a person. So let's go ahead and spawn the person. Human, of course. Cat person always spawns at the top, so we'll stick him down. Now, if I cover up, this should work properly. Angle 90. Come on. And it's backwards. It's backwards. Okay. So what I think I need to do... Oh, you little punk. Come on. No. Make them lie down. What? Is that my code? Is that my code? Did I put that message in there? I don't think I did. Okay, so for the bedsheet thing, it's actually backwards. We need to do I think plus 180, right? We need to do 180 degrees. And that should fix it. But before we test that, what is this message? Make them lie down. What the hell? That's not, I don't think that's mine. Bedsheet bin. Why is that there? Who put that there? Surgery. It's for the surgery code. What? What? That's... Ooh, that's weird. That's really weird. I think I think somebody changed the bed sheets so that you can do surgery on them. So they have something called surgical drapes that you put on somebody when they're laying down, so you can initiate a surgery. And they made bed sheets have that feature to where you can put someone down, and then I guess start the surgery. Let's stick them here. That is really weird. So, okay. Yeah, so that message was not a part of my code. Strange. I'm going to just take this guy and stick him in the big hallway and then spawn some beds real quick to make sure the other direction is... I do bed. Oh, I need to get metal, actually, to create the bed so we can create it in the proper directions. Okay, so we're going to create 2 beds. Bed 1, bed 2, and 2 separate directions. So we'll stick them on this one first. And actually at this point, let's just turn off the debugging statements. It'll be a lot faster. So that's backwards. It should also be backwards for the other way as well, which I'm going to test. No, we want to put it on the person. Yeah, so it's backwards in both circumstances. So I think if I just flip it 180, it should be fine. Should be fine. Right. Okay. Okay, so now we need to turn off the server, reload it. Okay. It's gonna take a little bit of time for it to reboot. Let's see what else I have left on my to-do list. I was gonna do that one. I was planning on doing unit tests for say code. Debug anyway. I don't think I'm gonna have time for that though. I was only planning on doing this for a few hours, and writing the unit test for say code is actually going to probably take me, I don't know, it could be anywhere from 15-30 minutes to an hour or two, because say code is kind of touching some very performance laden code. So you got to be, you know, I was saying earlier how you can kind of skip unit tests for things that aren't critical. For say code, that is not the case. Say code is actually very performance critical, because anytime you speak, that message gets sent to you know, hundreds of other players at the same time, and so it can get very spammy if you're not paying attention to performance. So so yeah, you got to be kind of careful with that. So unit tests are kind of a definitely a necessary evil for that. So, but I think that's going to take me a while because I want to make sure the unit tests are done properly and not half-assed. So yeah, I think after I finish testing the bedsheet thing, I'm going to be done with this stream for now, guys. Yeah, I'll probably work on the unit test for the say code probably later today. See what I can. Oh, and then after the say code thing gets worked on, I also have to test merge it because last time we test merged it, we found some bugs with it. So I want to make sure it's working right, like it should. Okay. Bed. Spawn a character real quick. Spawn our test subject. Stick him in the bed. Yes. Oh, I was like, where the hell did the bedsheet go? Oh, it was on my back. Huh? Okay. So that should work. Boom. Perfect. It actually lined up with the person. That's great. I'm going to unbuckle this person. Stick them in bed there. And it should line up again. Yep. Very good. Now just checking something. It's been a while since I've messed with this pull request. So my question here is, I'm trying to make sure when you buckle to the bed that you're sleeping in the right position, right? I actually don't think that seems a little bit buggy, but that doesn't have something to do with the bedsheet code. That's actually the bed code, which we're not touching. All our code is checking for is if, we're facing this direction, that, let's see here. Take this off. Yes. Yes. Push you down. Correct. Push it down again. Correct. Okay. Now, if we do this. Okay, we're tucking that in. Okay. So that little invisible bed sheet, I think I know what's happening, and I think it's this. That's a little annoying. Um, that is really frustrating, actually, guys. Moved, set body position. Oh, I think I know what happened. Okay. So this is kind of weird. Weird little thing here. Now if I pick it up, it should, yeah. So, okay, so there's like, there's almost like a timer on this where, okay. Moved. Picked up. So we need to, well, first off, let's delete this. Since this angle to direction works, we also need to register another signal, which is pickup, like ComSig pickup. Something like that. Again, we're playing the guessing game where we don't know. I think this one might be it here. Let's see here. Bed tucking. Bed tuckable. Detach. Yeah, I think this is the one we want. So tuck in bed. Okay. So we will this should fix the bug where the icon for the bed sheet just disappears. So if we do this, so a signal for, we'll do source, this here, proc, signal is a way in Space Station 13 to have mix-ins. In other languages, they call them mix-ins. It is a way to share code across multiple objects, and it's much better than object-oriented programming. Because Space Station 13 kind of uses a mixture of the two. They use a lot of classes and objects and inheritance, and then they also have a lot of procs and functions that are shared between different classes of objects. So it's not really inheritance. It's more like they're sharing among the same pool of things that can be done. It's actually very kind of a complicated thing to understand how it's working and stuff. So right now I'm just trying to make sure that this is working how it should. Target. Yes. Okay. I think this is good. I think this should fix our bug. I want to make sure initialize cover up smooth sheets. I may also have to, if I destroy, if the bedsheet gets deleted or destroyed, we might have to unregister these signals. So it's also something I got to account for. So, but for right now, we're going to test to see if that bug is gone now. It triggers in a very unique circumstance. So right now, there are these three triggers that happen whenever the character is moved, whenever they lie down or get up, and then whenever they get deleted. And when that happens, the bed sheet will change its like layer, so it'll be a top layer or below the player. And if you pick up the bed sheet before the player moves or lies down or lies up, then it'll basically it'll go invisible because the layer messes up because it's no longer an object on the floor, it's an object on the player's hand. So, and the object on the player hand has a different layer than when it's on the floor. So that's something it would take you probably, if you're new to programming for Space Station 13, that'd probably take you a couple of months to maybe a year to figure that out. So it'd be kind of a confusing bug. All right, let's skip that. But yeah, I am hoping that right now I'm just gonna do a quick little hunt through some other bits of code to see if they delete this stuff. Mm-hmm. If they delete the signals when the object's getting destroyed. So I think that does happen, but I'm not entirely 100%. I would hope that when objects get deleted, it just removes the signals automatically, but I think in the past I have not seen that happen. Unless they change something recently. Destroy. Yeah, the destroy code is what I'm looking at. So component acid destroy. Come on. Getting a little tired, guys. Go here. Start now. Let's spawn our human here. Nope, wrong section here. Okay. Covered in white. So what we're gonna do to test this, we're gonna push them, throw the bed sheet on, and then grab the bed sheet before they get back up from the stun. Okay, so there, we grab it. Very strange. So let's go to my debugging. Balloon alert. But I need to figure out where this is getting called that. Smooth sheets. Smooth sheets. Oh. This is kind of annoying. So so to explain what's happening is a little complex. So when this gets triggered, right? So our smooth sheets proc, because when we picked it up before the character could react, it triggered our item pickup signal, and then it tried to smooth the sheets. And this is the smooth sheets proc. We're supposed to have the actual sleeper, but it didn't pass the person as a sleeper. It passed the object itself. So very annoying. I'm trying to think of a good way to resolve this. So there's some hacky ways I can do this. Quite a few different hacky ways. Oh, here we go. I know what we could just do. This is actually fine. This isn't too hacky. So we're just checking to make sure that the object is a sleeper. It's removing the signals. Okay. This should avoid that runtime. We'll give it another run through. And that should be that should honestly be the final nail for this pull request to be ready. After that, it should be ready to get merged. However, there is a very big I can show you guys. If we go to TG pull request, there is a big code freeze because they're bumping the Beyond version to 5.15, which changes some of the debug anyway. Keep going. It changes some of the code syntax for our code base. One of the big things is the .proc behavior. So if I this code right here. So these little .procs they're like located everywhere in the code base. There's so many of them, But anyway, updating to the new version. It's like jumping from Python 2 to Python 3 in a way, to where people who make that jump, if you don't remove the deprecated code, so like this the way you write this proc right here, .proc, is deprecated. You can't do that anymore. So making this big jump is going to break a lot of stuff, because there's a lot of this code and some other changes that are now deprecated. So I will actually have to go and fix these once that gets merged, which is, they're planning to do it pretty soon. They're saying that no other code is going to get merged until they make this transition. So I will have to go and, instead of using these .procs, I'll have to use the new syntax that they're using to call the procs. So yeah, I guess it's time to spawn our characters, and this should be it. This should be the final run through. Oh man. Still this bed sheet. Stick it on our back. We're going to spawn the 2 beds, and yeah, go from there. So bed 1, bed 2. And then now we're going to spawn the character, which is down here. We're going to push and then pick up the bed sheet before they get back up. And fuck. Grr. So we still had that invisible icon thing. You know what? We do not, for the pickup, we don't need to change the layers at all. We can I know what we could do actually. So we could do so I could stick this right in here. And it should work now. So now you might ask, why are we moving the layer code in there? Because again, when you pick up an object, the layer automatically shifts because it's no longer on the ground, it's in your hand. So it changes, the layer already updates. So we don't need to actually, if it gets picked up, we don't need to perform a layer thing like this. So we can just skip it. So now I have to test it one more time. A little frustrating. A little frustrating. While we're waiting for that, I am going to go to the pull request. I am going to bedsheet pull request. We're going to, and again, this one is actually already written pretty well compared to the previous one. I've already worked on that one a lot. So we're going to go to the bottom. I'm just going to resolve that. We can go ahead and just, pretty sure this is going to fix it. So we're just going to do change refactor bedsheet to use angle to dir. We're going to push it. We're going to copy the link for this, and then we're going to do applied with. That should just turn into a very good-looking syntax for the review. So, and then I resolve that. We're going to do a quick test. Hopefully this is, fixed. Okay. Moment of truth. We grabbed it. He still did not work properly. Dear God. Okay, now I'm actually going to turn on the debugging, the debug statements. So, because that should have, come on, let's try this again. There we go. So we picked it up. Unregistered signal, right? You unregister it. What in the hell? That's super weird. Did you not? That's very strange. So that is very weird. So when we pick up the sheets. Oh, okay. I think I understand what's happening now. Okay. Interesting. Smooth sheets, pick up. Oh, this is a little rough. So when the smooth sheets prompt gets called, when it's triggered by the bed sheet, because it gets picked up, it doesn't have the sleeper, so it can't unregister the signals for these other three signals. So they basically get skipped. They don't ever get removed. And then it happens a second time when the person stands up and they actually get triggered. So what I think I'm going to have to do is we're going to have to cancel the signal somehow. I think there is another signal. Another signal that we want to use then, because that one is for item pickup. We don't want item pickup. We want the other one. We want the mob item pickup. This is, we might do equipped item. Maybe because he's putting it in his hand. It's possible, but I'm just trying to think of different ways to avoid this bug here. And first solution did not work. I'm looking at some examples. Okay. We will actually just pretty much use what he's got here. It should be actually pretty applicable to our situation. We will just do a little, change this a little bit. So we wrote a new proc just to handle the pickup code. Very annoying, but I guess it's kind of a necessary evil. So So once it's been grabbed, we want to man, this is not good. I might actually have to do I'm gonna have to do a weak reference, aren't I? Yeah, that's looking like and the reason we're having to do this code is because someone said they wanted this layer to they wanted the bed sheets to smooth out, to cover up, and we did that, and now there's like there is a edge case where a bug appears because someone else can pick up the bed sheet before the other code triggers. Which is really annoying. Okay. Come on. Using these as reference to have weak references. Basically, we need to do this to keep track of who the sleeper is, which is just a really big pain in the ass. Signal sleeper. I had it backwards. This is some really ugly code, by the way. This is pretty hacky what I'm doing, but one of the maintainers wanted a niche feature added. That's pretty redundant, but they wanted it, so they're gonna get it. But it's just not gonna be very. It's gonna be pretty disgusting. And I'm just trying to troubleshoot, make sure this is gonna work properly. Trying to remember how resolve works. I think it's like that. So this is more of the ugly side of signals for Space Station 13. Signal code can be signal and components can be very ugly to work with sometimes, and overall I think it's beneficial, but I think it also sucks the life out of code readability. It makes your code very bloated. It makes your code very obfuscated. You know, you're making it very hard to read what's happening. So other languages like Python, Lua, they have much better ways to share procs amongst classes. They use mixins. It's just has much better syntax to do it and much better support. Whereas Space Station 13 code is just it's just not smooth. It's implemented very gross looking, and it's very verbose. Okay, let's get out of here. I think it should work now. We'll find out. I'm going to add a little code comment here. Case. I actually think we can get rid of this. Pretty sure we can. Actually, let's abort for now, so I can add these new changes. seeing how this goes. I'm waiting for it to finish loading, and as soon as this bug gets ironed out, we will be done for tonight. So I think this will be the final test, but I've been wrong a few times, so we'll cross our fingers and hope for the best. Okay. Here we go again. Let's debug. Spawn a human. We're going to show this guy. Yay! It worked. It worked. Let's just double check. Signals should have deleted, but we'll double check here. Yep. Signal sleeper is a weak reference, which did not resolve. I think the only thing I need to do here is yeah, I gotta null it. So and then you just go here, you do signal sleeper equals null. This is basically just deleting the hanging reference for this stuff. I guess I can stick this down here. This will be our signal code. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. That is it. We have finished. Fixed bedsheet disappearing in hand. From signals. We're going to add this code comment. We're going to push. We're going to go to the... I think it's already ready for review. Yeah, it is. Good. Go through here. Bedsheets. Bedsheets are done now. It took long enough. It actually, I thought this was going to be a quick 30-minute modification to the review. You know, that ended up taking about an hour, a little over an hour to knock that code out. So that tends to happen a lot. You run into problems and you're trying to triage the problem and figure out how long it's going to take to fix. So, but yeah, that's pretty much as much time as I can devote towards this for tonight. So, yeah, I think we're at a good stopping point. So we can remove this from our to-do list. The say code will be on another day. I also want the unit tests to be very thorough since it's a very performance based part of the code. So, but yeah, I'll catch you guys later. So, peace.